So today we are installing Python in Kali Linux again. This is for someone who is on to updating their Python but cannot do it. So this is how to do it. First we update our system. By update I mean we update the repositories that we need, because by default Python does come with by default Kali Linux does come with Python, but after the update is done, then what you have to do is check what Python version you are using. Because if I'm correct, Kali Linux is based off of Debian, and Debian is usually a little bit late on updates, but you can get them manually, but automatically it's a little bit late. So to get the latest version of Python, you have to run a different command, because usually you would run a sudo app install Python, but for in this case you need to specify the version which you want to install. So I'll go there, but first let me just make this a little bit bigger so you can see what commands I'm typing. And the first thing you have to note is that I have Python installed, but I have my Kali Linux does come with Python, just different versions of it. So Python has this feature where you can have multiple versions and use all of them all together, and they will actually use different versions for different things. In Python case, in Kali Linux there are dependencies that depend on older versions of Python, and for this particular thing we are actually updating it. And as I said, you need to specify the version. So you can see I'm specifying that we have to install Python 3.11 because that is the latest version currently. And if I check the version, so as you can see it's Python 3.10.8, the current version that is installed, but we want to get 3.11 because that's all the hype right now. And this is just to clarify that, well, in fact I do not have Python 3.11 installed in any other method, but I think there is a source build method where you can get the source and build it from there, but that's a little bit complicated. But the Debian repository already has this, so you can just type it in and it will actually just get the packages you need, and it will just install like any normal package. But don't be happy yet and don't just click off the video right now thinking it's all done, because even if you install Python 3.11, it will not be the default Python that the system will use, because I'll show you that. So after we install it, you can see that there was something I wanted to show but I forgot. So as you can see here, the installation is going on, and this part is fairly simple. Like you would install this like you would install any other package, like it installs normally, so you do not have to worry too much about that. But the tricky part comes after the installation, because after it is installed it won't be the default. Like as I said, Python can work with multiple versions at a time. So this system is actually configured to run with Python 3.10.8, and you can just check the Python version as you can see I'm doing here. So as you can see, though I already installed Python 3.11, and none of it is actually using it as default. So we have to specify or update the alternatives where Python, if we type Python, it will by default run Python 3.11. Now this may seem a little bit complicated, but just bear with me and just understand that by default you cannot, although you have the latest version, it will not necessarily use the latest. I just made zoomed out a bit so we can see what I mean by that. And here you can see this is the command that you need to update alternatives. So as the command suggests, here's what's happening. So I'm saying that update the alternatives and install. Then what you have to do is specify the Python command directory. So this is the thing that the terminal runs whenever you type Python or Python 3. And as you can see, I'm saying Python 3. That means the Python 3 this is the default Python. Just get that in your head. And this is specifying that this is the command that we run whenever we say Python, like whenever we run something in Python. Now it may seem a little bit complicated and I may not be able to explain it fully, but this just works. And I told you I'm a little bit sick, so my head is not straight. So as you can see, this is the command where we can just do this. But here, I don't know why, but I actually think that you need to specify the older version first. So this is the default one, so nothing breaks. And then we just have to change this to 11 and type and do 2 here, so we have both of them and we do not want to uninstall any of it. And as you can see, it's saying using this as in auto mode, and we will show you what that means. So now we can check what is actually the default. So what is the Python 3 command pulling whenever we are saying Python 3? And again, if this seems a little bit complicated, just copy the commands or you can Google the commands, it will work. And we just have to change this and type config. So this will show the configuration of this Python 3 command. So where it's going, what it's doing, this will just show that. And as you can see, this is selected. So now the Python 3.11 is the default one that is being run, the 3.11. And we can just select 0, and again by default it is 0, but you just specify this just in case. And just see where that version is located. And the reason we did that twice is that we just specified both of them, and I don't think you have to do it, but oh well, I just did it just in case. Then this is actually, I think, what you have to do. It's fairly simple. It's just commands, and there we go. Now if we type Python 3, the Python version, as you can see, it says Python 3.11.0 plus. That means we are running the latest version of Python, and same for the both of this command. And if this video felt less informative, then I'm actually sorry. I told you I'm a little bit sick, so I hope this video helps you, and if it does, leave a like and subscribe.